The internet has been set on fire by them. Moreover, this is not your normal dispute. It's heartache. Unfiltered anger and betrayal are exploding in real time. Jim Jones is the man who gained notoriety for his dedication and ride-door love. And after standing by Chrissy Lemon for 20 years, he has finally spoken. Moreover, his words were more than just a proclamation. They were daggers. Although Chrissy's wedding announcement had already left fans speechless, Jim's response is said to be the most tragic collapse in hip-hop love history. 20 years. After 20 years of promises, plans, and public arguments, followed by private reconciliations, everything was abruptly destroyed. Chrissy wasted 2 whole decades of her life, according to her supporters. And now, just in front of our eyes, the man who promised to be his forever is falling apart. When Chrissy revealed something shocking on that reunion tape, everyone was taken aback. Declaration, I'm married. The silence that followed wasn't simply silence, it was heartbreak. Transmitted in 4-dimensional, Jim came to a stop. The producers became quite agitated. The audience also felt the compassion of tension that makes your chest hurt. After days of rumors, leaks, and endless speculation, Jim has finally spoken. This debate has reached the level of a reality TV show because of what he said and revealed. We're talking about betrayal in the business, voicemails that were leaked, private communications, and a fact that might blow everything apart. I'm going to tell you something that will shake you, so stay still. When Chrissy Lemon announced "I'm married" on the reunion stage, time stopped. Fans were no longer only watching reality TV. They were seeing 20 years of love. Silence and sacrifice continued to dissolve. Camera. Jim Jones didn't move, didn't flinch, didn't blink. His silence was louder than any mic drop in the history of hip-hop and love, louder than any curse, and louder than any fight. But what happened next? However, the betrayal that emerged minute by minute due to the leaks turned their reunion into a global scandal. The initial crack came from an unnamed Instagram user, the account on @TheIndustryLeaks. They left a note allegedly from Jim hours after the tape. "She ain't even give me the chance, bro. I had the ring," he said in a strained tone. He broke the news to a friend. "I had the entire plan." That 14-second video went around on Twitter faster than wildfire. Users analyzed each sigh and pause, with some even claiming that you could hear glass clinking in the background. "She ain't let me breathe." Did Jim have any alcohol at the time? Bloggers portrayed the message as the sound of a man whose heart had finally shattered after 20 years of hardship. Then followed the text messages, while some admirers shared nasty memes mocking his regret, and others sobbed in compassion. It was too much for fans to stop recalling. The purported shade room between Jim and his mother was seen on screenshots. "Mama Jones, she ought to have waited," he added. "I was gone. Do it right this time," was Mama Jones's alleged reply. "You can't expect her to stay still after 20 years of waiting, Jimmy." After the same Mama Jones sided with Chrissy, fans flew into a frenzy. If even Jones, who had clashed with her on TV before, admitted that Chrissy was right, what did it indicate about Jim's procrastination? Supporters of Justice for Jim asserted that he was caught off guard and deceived, and the hashtag quickly gained popularity online. With the hashtag #TheirTeamChrissy, people came together in response to the widely circulated tweet, "Sis proposed," claiming that her patience had long ago run out. To him in 2011. 13 years passed before he could match her vigor. "Don't cry now." He was about to do it, he added again. She did not give him the chance. This is betrayal, not empowerment. The rhetorical fight became vicious as fans shared mementos of every proposal, every dramatic brawl, and every poignant reconciliation. Everyone on the internet seemed to be reliving their whole relationship in real time, putting together the evidence of who was right, who was wrong, and who had wasted their life. But rather than from viewers, the most startling discovery came from backstage. During a quarrel, a filmmaker hired to capture behind-the-scenes video mistakenly left his camera rolling, enabling the tape to leak to TikTok within 24 hours. Jim is shown ranting inside Chrissy's dressing room while security scurries to catch up with him. "Drop that on me," was what you just said. "No call, no warning, no nothing," he said, in front of everyone. Chrissy instantly recoiled, staying in her opulent chair. "Jimmy, I've been warning you for 20 years, but you've never taken my advice. Listening. I begged you to choose me, but I finally chose myself." Even though the video ended abruptly, social media was sparked. According to insiders, Chrissy's new husband has been a member of their social circle for years and wasn't just a casual acquaintance. On one side, a man was publicly humiliated and denied his opportunity, while on the other, a woman regained her dignity after decades of heartbreak. But the whisper that made everything worse came next. Reddit was flooded with conspiracy threads, names were trending, and bloggers pledged to reveal the truth. The mere idea had fans searching through old photos, highlighting names in the background, and wondering whether an old acquaintance had replaced the new husband. Jim didn't post anything in the interim. No subtweets, no enigmatic captions, not even a song lyric, and his silence continued. If the accusations were accurate, this was not just pain, but betrayal from inside their own group. Fans thought he was broken, some suggested he was scheming, and then he appeared, but the silence was shocking for a man known for speaking up. Late at night, Jim went live on Instagram. The room was black with loss, his shackles were gone, and his voice was husky. Everyone was talking about how pointless the last 20 years were, and maybe they were. Even though she should have left me long ago, I loved that lady every single day, so don't tell me I don't love her. The comments passed by so fast, and I just don't know how to say it the way she wanted. She's gone now. They blurred before anybody could catch their breath. While some questioned his timing, others praised his honesty. Tasha K, known for dropping bombshells, uploaded a studio tape of him rapping lyrics that sounded like a confession. For 20 years, I wore shame, while she wore white. I lost my queen, yet nothing changed. Fans didn't care if it was an unpublished song or a freestyle, therefore I lost my name. Believed it to be gospel. Some accused him of using his pain as a publicity stunt, while others claimed it was his most sensitive work to date. Yandi went live and encouraged her admirers, "Ladies, don't wait decades for what you deserve now," as fans continued to respond to Rashidita's enigmatic Instagram story. You set early boundaries for this reason. You can't wait for someone to recognize your worth. Celebrities weren't just watching the wedding, they were fueling the fires. Mama D even contributed her voice, calling Chrissy's, but just as the plot was starting to take shape, another twist was thrown. According to an alleged email from a VH1 producer that surfaced online, Chrissy informed weeks prior to taping that the business had discovered her marriage and that, for maximum impact, it was decided to keep it a secret from Jim. "This will be the season's defining moment," read one phrase of the email. Many were shocked by this, which went beyond a simple personal betrayal. Jim had not only been taken by surprise by Chrissy, but he had also been ambushed by the all of a sudden. Boycotts were being organized, and fans threatened to stop supporting the same network that launched his reality TV career. Some defended the network by saying that Jim had earned years of money from reality TV drama and was now only being treated unfairly, and they demanded that VH1 take responsibility. Jim published a black and white photo of himself and Chrissy from 2007 with the caption, "Forever, my lady," since it couldn't get much darker, even if it's no longer my forever, just when everyone thought the debate was finished and his reputation was on the line. Fans reacted to the post, which earned over 1 million likes in a single day. Some pushed Jim to finally let Chrissy go, while others begged her to alter her decision, but the whispers continued. The rumor had people waiting for the next shoe to drop, and Chrissy thought it would stay buried. Jim wasn't done, and he was reportedly preparing for an interview with Tal in which he would reveal every conflict. Betrayal and secret that would Jim be completely destroyed by this revelation? Or would he finally regain control of the story? The chapter of this odyssey ended with the first terrible thought. This was more than just a breakup. It was the disintegration of a relationship. This was the storyline that had dominated reality television for 10 years. Jim's subsequent actions have the potential to either alter the path of history or forever ruin his reputation. The impact of Jim Jones's late-night Instagram Live was heartbreaking. His remarks, the tears he struggled to hold back, and the silence that followed were enough to ignite a second wave of online discontent. However, this time, instead of sympathy, skepticism increased as more leaks emerged that showed Jim trying to backtrack on his statements, and that an anonymous account who called VH1 Receipts released a strange tape that threatened to upend everything. The tape showed Jim in a heated phone call with a man who fans instantly recognized as one of his closest business associates. His voice was tight and reserved as he replied. "Don't tell me she'd blindside me, since I've been new. Give her her little moment. I just don't want the cameras to know." Those 19 seconds sparked a barrage of questions, including if Jim's silence during the reunion was a surprise or a ploy, and whether he was aware of Chrissy's marriage beforehand. Supporters were split at once, with some saying the exchange was staged and meant to make him look foolish, while others said the tone of his voice was a blatant indication that he wasn't caught off guard. As one of the popular tweets stated, He knew, and he still let her break the internet. That is performance art. No, he's just saving face, someone else observed. Men do that when they make mistakes. But before the next blow, which was purportedly leaked screenshots from Chrissy's phone, came, it was time to take sides. The internet showed short but devastating texts that Chrissy had exchanged with an unnamed acquaintance named M. Chrissy. I can't wait much longer. He won't change. M. Well, Chrissy, you already have the life you deserve, so let me give it to you. Just us, no May, no waiting. Who is M? The screenshots went viral. Some fans speculated that it may be someone even closer to home, while others said that architect Chrissy had been spotted at events months prior, and yet others speculated that it was the well-known Marcus Bellamy. It was too much to process, and the idea that another man had been providing her with everything Jim had given her just fueled the mania among fans who had been holding on to the dream of Chrissy and Jim. People who celebrated Chrissy's independence saw it as evidence that she had finally made her own choice, and Jim's camp retaliated against someone else within hours. One of his friends, writing anonymously on a gossip blog, said that the photos were staged, fabricated, and altered to make Jim appear weak. Before the denial could take hold, though, Tasha K stepped up her efforts. She published a video of Chrissy saying, "I didn't do this to hurt him," in what she said was a voicemail she gave to a friend. "I saved myself by doing this," she said. "I needed a friend, and after I gave that man 20 years, he gave me limbo. The breach damaged the internet, but he gave me a future, not just a promise." Fans simultaneously showered Twitter with admiration, grief, and anger. 20 years wasted. No, according to a widely posted thread, 20 years were spent on a man who never cashed out. She lost money. Another trended just as fast. She didn't have to leave him and seem foolish. This was revenge, not peace. Then came the most startling revelation to yet. The network deliberately orchestrated the reunion to mock Jim and threatened to sue him for emotional distress and character damage, according to an alleged email sent by Jim's lawyer to VH1 executives. The email contained one horrifying sentence: "You will be responsible for the destruction of my client's legacy if this video is shown without editing." VH1 stayed silent, of course, but insiders said the network was working feverishly behind the scenes, alternating between protecting one of their biggest stars and leveraging the scandal to increase their ratings. Chrissy, meantime, eventually spoke up, not with words, but with a picture. She posted an Instagram photo of her hand intertwined with her husband's, showing the glistening wedding band under low light. In only a few minutes, the photograph reached 500,000 views with the simple comment, "Peace looks good on me." While some fans filled her comments with praise, love, and encouragement, others bombarded her with accusations of treason, hatred, and malice toward Jim in the same phrase. Jim then stated, as if dictated by the universe itself, "Not directly, not in public, but through another leak. The strange thing is that I thought I was going to give her that ring as a surprise," Jim reportedly said in a voicemail to Mama Jones. "She really left me, Ma. I haven't even been given permission to talk." Mama Jones's response in the message was straightforward, heartfelt, and severe. "Jimmy, you have 20 years to get the word out. You don't need to worry about timeliness right now." The internet blew up again. Chrissy's encouragement from Mama Jones several times in 1 week, the fans couldn't believe it. The woman who had clashed with Chrissy on national television was the same one. Strongest defense. Memes became viral, hashtags gained popularity, and the plot shifted again. Jim was not only heartbroken, he was alone. But the betrayal extended much beyond that. Jim had been given many opportunities to pop the question to Chrissy on television, with producers willing to pay for grandiose proposals, but he constantly turned them down, according to a former Love and Hip producer. According to the producer, he wanted things his way. The problem is that these kinds of expressions never happened. The revelation upset fans who had seen Chrissy beg, plead, and even go down on one knee herself. For many, it was the last confirmation that Chrissy had wasted her best years with Jim. Jim wasn't finished yet, though. Late one night, he uploaded a freestyle called "Forever Ain't Forever" on SoundCloud. The lyrics were harsh, critical, and heartbreaking. "You said I do, and I said I would. That promise still stands 20 years later / you turned to go. I had lost the war. I suppose I ought to have done it right." The song quickly rose to prominence as one of the most well-liked themes. Supporters wept, debated, and examined if it was art or manipulation. But before the dust could settle, there was another twist. An informant allegedly received a blurry photo of Jim leaving a private dinner with Camila Joel's, Santana's wife, and Chrissy's long-term girlfriend. A companion. The image was grainy. There was enough to have fans go berserk, even though the context was unclear. Had Jim already moved on? Was this only a rebound, retaliation, or a coincidence? Camilla and Jim handled everything, but the speculation was enough to shatter the internet again. The battleground was unobstructed and closed for the week. Chrissy felt comfortable. Jim was in pain. And the supporters had front-row seats see a 20-year story come to an end, but the whispers were louder, the leaks more frequent, and the stakes higher than ever. Because, according to insiders, the biggest shock was yet unknown. A gossip blog was indicated by one producer. Do you think the end is in sight? No, even the biggest secret is still a mystery. And when this story is released, everyone will view it differently. The next explosion was suddenly imminent. Would Jim, who had vowed to discard the receipts, finally hand them up? Would Chrissy's husband's identity be ultimately made public? Or will the manipulation controversy on VH1 expose everything? At any rate, one thing was clear. But it didn't end there. Not even close. The internet thought it had seen it all. The voicemails, the freestyle, and the screenshots that were made public. But the tale of Jim Jones and Chrissy Lampkin was far from over. The crescendo was coming, and nobody was prepared. Because when the last round of leaks occurred, they showed more than just sadness. They posed a danger to the long-standing friendships, reputations, and customs that were deeply embedded in hip-hop culture. The Harlem Truths blog, a small gossip website, delivered the first blow in this last act by snagging a video that nobody expected to see. The grainy footage, which was allegedly taken in 1971, was preserved by Chrissy's family. A teenage Chrissy was photographed in Harlem with a baby in the archives. A scribbled sticker on the VHS package said, "Jimmy never knew." The video went viral on Twitter in a matter of minutes. Was this thing real? Did Chrissy have a hidden child from her long-term relationship with Jim? Was it a secret child? After scanning alleged letters from Chrissy to a confidant in the late 1990s, Harlem Truths detonated another bomb in a matter of hours. One remark caused fans to gasp. "I'm still waiting for him to grow up, but my child can't live with broken promises." The letters reignited the gossip that Chrissy had secretly raised a child while she waited for Jim to arrive, keeping the truth out of the public eye. Fans were filling timelines with speculation. If this child existed, was Jim really the father, and was this the reason Chrissy left and married someone else? Jim spoke out again, this time in a fiery Instagram Live that attracted over 150,000 viewers, saying, "I don't know," as he sat in a studio with his chains glistening and his eyes drooping with exhaustion. "Stop making fun of my name." Nothing about having no secret child. She chose to date someone else, and that's all. I've always adored that woman. Don't start altering the history to make myself seem bad. Despite his forceful remarks, fans weren't convinced. The movie, the silence, the timing all hinted to a more intricate story. Then came the biggest surprise of all. Chrissy's now adult child went live, their voice a little warped, their visage blurry for privacy. But the message was clear enough. I am Chrissy Lampkin's child. I won't tell you who my dad is since it isn't important right now. What matters is my mother's composure. She deserves to be freed from the limitations of her history and to be happy. The broadcast caused a stir on the internet, with supporters shouting, crying, and fighting. If Jim wasn't the father, then who was? If he was, how could this fact have been kept secret for almost half a century? The release of allegedly stolen emails between VH1 producers left the public stunned, since the network allegedly deliberately concealed the information after having been aware of Chrissy's child for years. One producer even commented, "If this ever gets out, we're finished," in an attempt to keep Jim's fan base and ratings high.